My analog project 2011 continues in the month of September with the Yashica Electro 35 GT. This camera was manufactured in 1969 and again in 1970. It features a 45mm lens that shoots from f1.7 to f16, has a maximum shutter speed of 0.05 of a second, and the ISO range goes from 25 all the way up to 1000. All of these cameras back then featured some sort of a semi-automatic exposure system where the user selects the f-stop on the lens barrel and the camera will select the appropriate shutter speed. This camera also featured an underexposure, overexposure alert system here on the top. You have a series of lights and arrows. When you press the shutter release button down halfway, if you get a yellow light, you're prompted to rotate the f-stop on the lens barrel in the direction of the arrow. There's also a corresponding arrow on the lens barrel, so you rotate it to the user's left, which will open up the lens a bit more to allow more light in, and the camera will then be able to take the picture, assuming you don't get another yellow light. So you press the button down. If the light goes out or doesn't come on, then you'll get a properly exposed image. The same goes for the red light, which represents overexposure. You rotate the dial in the opposite direction to close down the lens. Some of the other features on this camera, you have a battery check button here on the back. When you press that button, a light comes on inside the frame counter window that lets you know you still have life left in your battery. You also have a pocket here on the back to put your film information from the film carton. Of course, on the bottom, the rewind button, tripod socket, and the battery well. You also have a timer, self-timer here on the lens barrel. And what I like about it, you have this little lock for the shutter release button. You can lock the shutter release button, put this in your bag, and not worry about exposing a frame accidentally. That happens on pretty much all my other film cameras. This is the only one that has a lock on it, so I really appreciate that. The camera also has a cold shoe. Which means that there is no contact here to trip your flash, but it does feature a PC socket here on the side. Other cameras, other GTs actually have a hot shoe on there. Not all of them, there are several models, but this one has a cold shoe. I can live with it because I don't really use flashes with these cameras. But anyway, this is a nice classy design from the 70s. Great camera, fun to use. The lens is not that long. This is actually a lens hood and a UV filter on here that's extending the overall length of my lens barrel here. I like the design so much that I went out and bought a second one. This is a non-GT version. It has pretty much the same features. The exception is that the ISO setting on here only goes to 400, but I rarely shoot above 400. We're going to call these these are like gunslingers here. The Electro 35 GT is the one that I'll be using for the month of September in my analog project 2011. So you can find the photographs from this camera on my Flickr photo stream later on this month. Some on dread242.com, maybe all of them. So there you go, the Yashica Electro 35 GT, 35mm rangefinder camera. This month of September, my analog project 2011. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next month.